Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Nicole. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and get notifications so you don't miss a video. So let's talk about this ebb and flow in life, the flow of relationships. That's right, that's right. How to embrace the flow and how to let go and let life unfold in your relationships. How many of you out there are used to trying to force things? You have a goal, you know the outcome you want, and you feel like you can control that and you can force it even in your relationships, right? That's a big myth, because in life we often find ourselves holding on to people and things and situations too tightly because we think that that's what we want, and we're afraid to let go. But what if you could learn to embrace the flow of life and let some of your important relationships just flow? And I know that that's hard, right? Because a lot of women, especially, are told when they're out dating, when they're looking for marriage or a relationship or anything in life, they're told how to be focused and how to be intentional and how to know what they want and ask for what they want. And none of that is wrong, right? I don't disagree with it. But there comes a point when you have to understand the power of flow and the power of learning how and when to let go. Letting go, first of all, is not giving up. It's about releasing that need that so many of us have for control, right? So many of us are not able, or we're afraid to allow things to just take their course. And that's when you're able to really lean in and trust the natural ebb and flow of life instead of trying to force outcomes. You actually end up getting more of what you want. It's the paradox of letting things flow. When you try to hold too tightly, like you try to hold on to water, it just slips right through your fingers. Okay? One of the things that I want you to really think about is what happens when we let go. When we let go, what happens is we allow ourselves to be open to new possibilities. A lot of times, what we think we want is not really exactly what we need. Sometimes we have to be open to new possibilities to be able to let what's good for us and what we really need into our lives. So when we're able to learn to let go when it's necessary, we end up creating a space for growth and transformation in our lives, in our relationships. We allow the universe to guide us towards the people and experiences and opportunities that are meant for us. And from a religious perspective, we allow God to guide us towards what was meant for us, what is really good for us. So regardless of your religious or your spiritual beliefs, you have to understand that there is something outside of you that is going to help guide you to what is best for you, right? You're able to let life happen. That doesn't mean that you're careless or that you don't plan or that you just let things happen. But what you can do is understand the things that are within your control and the things that are outside of your control. And you can focus on those things that are within your control, but then things like how another person behaves, you learn to not take responsibility for that. You learn to not internalize someone else's bad behavior, right? It doesn't say anything about you and your worth and your value. Instead, it says something about the other person. So really accepting that there are certain things that we can't control, especially when it comes to other people. But what we can control is our reaction, how we respond, our perspective, and how we view certain situations. And we can also be okay with accepting uncertainty and knowing when we have to just surrender to the unknown. Think about any situation that you may have faced, and it may have been something that you really wanted, or a relationship you really wanted, a friendship, a job, an opportunity. And if you didn't get it or it didn't work out, you may have felt crushed and defeated. But I bet you 9 times out of 10, a different door opened, a better door opened, a door that you may not have even imagined could be there for you, that could open for you. And if you had just been focused only on that thing that you felt you were certain about, you would not have been open to that other opportunity or possibility or relationship or friendship or whatever it is. It is actually much better for you, right? So the way you do that is you learn to start finding peace in the present moment. That's right. All of that mindfulness that you will hear me talking about, that even applies in your relationships. Focusing not on what somebody else isn't doing or what you wish they were doing, really finding peace in the present moment and allowing yourself to focus on your gratitude and appreciate the fact that there's beauty in this unfolding journey. Sometimes that means embracing what is. Sometimes that means planning for something better that you want for yourself. But it always means allowing yourself to accept the flow of life. Some things you control, and some things absolutely do not. And in relationships, especially relationships that develop just organically or naturally, we have to understand that we can't control or mold others. We cannot force others to change or be something that they're not. We cannot force, for example, in a relationship, we can't force. I see women talking about forcing men to propose to them. You cannot force change or mold anyone. You can just be observant and understand a person's behavior, make observations about whether they're consistent or not. But we have to let people be who they truly are. We have to honor them. And then we have to make decisions about whether or not who they are fits in with what we want for ourselves. Let them, let them be. Let them be themselves, right? With all of their imperfections. And let you be yourself with all of your imperfections. Because it's this funny thing that happens when you start to understand that no one is perfect. You start to understand that you yourself have imperfections, and you start to love yourself despite or regardless of any imperfections. In fact, you love yourself with all of your imperfections. So not only are you allowing other people to be who they are, you're really tapping into and allowing yourself to be who you are. And it doesn't mean that you accept behavior that is not healthy for you. Like I said, we all have accountability and responsibility for making decisions. If someone has shown that they don't value you, then you have a decision to make. But you certainly don't believe that you're going to change or mold that person into something that they are not. We have to be able to trust that the right people will come into our lives. And that will only happen when we're willing to let go at times. As I said earlier, letting go is not giving up. Letting go is letting life flow. You have to have a trust that the right people will come as you live your life, as you do your inner work, as you understand yourself more, and the right people will stay for as long as they're meant to, as long as it is planned for them to be there. Again, there's a part of this that's really about giving up control. Right? We have to understand that some relationships are meant to teach us valuable lessons about ourselves, about what we should or shouldn't tolerate, about how we communicate or what we're holding on to and not expressing, right? And not every relationship is going to be a lifelong bond. That even gives us more opportunity to value those relationships that are long term. And not every relationship that doesn't last forever, it doesn't mean that it was horrible or there was this huge, fallout. I have friends that I was friends with at certain periods in my life. And some, the friendships have lasted up through adulthood. Okay. So you have to understand that there's a season and a reason for everything. That will allow you to understand that instead of desperately holding on, you can learn to let go with love and gratitude. That's right. You can cherish the memories and the experiences, even if they no longer fit your life. We are able to really accept that some endings just had to happen, but we have to be trustful and know that new beginnings are just around the corner. So, my message to you, my friends, especially to all the women out there, be willing to release the need for control all the time. Embrace the flow. Allow life to unfold naturally and be able to cultivate meaningful relationships by really learning to be secure in who you are and learning that you don't have to hold on to or control everything. All right. I want you to tell me what your experience is. Make sure you comment on this video. Make sure you like it, you share it, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in your experience what has happened when you've been willing to go with the flow, when you've been okay with letting go of certain relationships and been open to allowing new ones to flow into your life. All right, this is Dr. Nicole, and I'm so glad that you were able to join and watch this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I want to hear your comments. Take care.